Hey everyone, it's officially TIFF 2024 and we are on the red carpet and I cannot wait to enjoy some of the interviews, meet some fantastic people, check out some incredible movies, and we're going to bring you guys along for the ride, so stay tuned for more. And we are with?
Samuel Van Grinsven.
How are you enjoying TIFF so far?
Great. I mean, I've been here for about 24 hours, but it's been fantastic. And yes, my first time in Toronto. It's a beautiful city. And
welcome. First time in Canada, or? Wow. Yeah. Okay. You picked the nice weather, so you came at the right time.
It's been lovely.
Come back in the winter, you might say something different.
A little bit like Australia.
We swap snowboarding for surfing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, director, writer, you got the tough job of putting the film together and then seeing it come to light. As you're writing and then directing it, what were some of the biggest hurdles you had to overcome in terms of the vision of the movie?
A lot. I think you're constantly, it's my second film. It's quite different to my first film, just on a scale level, and getting a large opportunity and a larger platform this time. So that comes with some learning. My first film I made for $35,000, so that was very gung ho, and I was sort of in charge of everything. And I think a big thing I've learned is just the beauty of trust. Finding collaborators who really believe in you, who understand what you're trying to do, and being able to give over to them. And I certainly found that in our cast, Vicky and Dacre, and in our producers, and in the great crews that we had in New Zealand. But just that ability to sort of share the load when it is a bigger project, I think that was probably the biggest thing I had to learn on this project.
And what would you say, without spilling too much, are you most excited about this specific film, and maybe even a little segment of the movie that just is like going to wow the audience?
Yeah, I'm very excited for people to. So the film it's Vicky and Dacre. They're the two actors the whole time, but it's two characters and three souls. So both of them will be inhabited by the same ghost, and both share a second character. So what I'm excited for is for people to experience when they subtly shift on screen into someone else. And there's no VFX, there's no artifice, there's no makeup. It's their raw bodies playing two completely different characters each.
Okay, wow. Yeah. And then maybe just a question for the up-and-coming film people, the filmmakers out there.
Yeah.
Obviously, you said you started your first movie with $35,000, gunslinging it. What would your advice be to those people that are trying to make it in this tough industry?
I think the biggest part of it is momentum creates momentum. And I try and tell myself that every day. It's the moment that you sort of, put your hands up in the air and say, like, no one's going to make this, no one's going to do this, there's no way forward. That as soon as you put those brakes on something, it just really slows down. I always, and it can be as simple as like, today I'm going to write that extra scene, or today I'm going to, even if it's not the version of the film I want, I'm going to make like the pitch deck for it or something like that. I always just believe that if a project has momentum behind it, it finds people who will help you keep that momentum going.
Wow, okay. So obviously, congratulations on the film. Welcome to TIFF, welcome to Toronto. What would you say was one of the hardest parts of getting into this specific character for this film?
Everything felt hard about it, because in the beginning I said to the director, there used to be a scarf that would cover the face when possessed by the ghost, and I suggested to remove the scarf in order to only have it be the performance. But then when I got there, I was very nervous, because I realized now I made it very difficult, because if I fail, I fail. I cannot hide, right?
Right.
That's why it was difficult. Everything was difficult, because how do you become another person inside of yourself, but don't make it so loud that it becomes theater? I didn't want it to be just she has a very different voice or starts moving in a weird way, but how can it be a change that is so subtle that you almost don't see it? Because to me that's scary. Do you think I'm Vicky right now?
I do.
How do you know?
My perception of you is because you're standing right in front of me. Unless you're playing another character, I don't know. A character of Vicky?
See what I mean?
All right, okay. That's what makes you guys so incredible. That's what makes acting so beautiful, because you pull us into that world, and we're not sure.
Yes, and acting is actually that. Acting is a lot inviting the person to read into me. So I open a room, and then you read. I don't even tell you anything. But what I do is I open the room of my soul so wide that you can just go in. You know, I think that's acting really. It's not so much of what I do to make you see something. It's more like invite you in, and then you read. You know.
So, in terms of this character, the widower, what did you do to get into character or prepare yourself for this role?
Yeah, so we had this thing where we'd share a perfume. You know, I had a perfume for my character, and he had this perfume, and then there was a perfume for Elizabeth. So if you would smell the Elizabeth perfume, she was already in the air. And a lot with the house. For my part, because Jill lives in that house, she's trapped in the house. So to me, I acted a lot with and of the house, the actual architecture, the structure, the walls. Sometimes in a scene, I would stop and listen, as if the house was alive. You know, so then Elizabeth became the house. So if I would become Elizabeth, I try to also take it from the house. What if I am the house? How do I feel if I'm a house? How do I move if I'm the house? You know, a lot like that. And then also letting go. So one part was, okay, there's the ghost, which comes and takes possession of me, and I become someone else. But then at some point I said to Dacre, well, I think there is no ghost. I think it's two people who agreed to play this game in order to exercise their trauma. Almost like people taking drugs, or like, okay, let's do this. Which is also an interesting layer to think. And that helped me then to let go and not only be thinking of like, am I now this other person, you know, am I Elizabeth?
Wow, so deep, so profound. Absolutely love it. Thank you so much. I'm excited to see this film. Congratulations, and hopefully you enjoy TIFF. And we are with...
Hey, Dacre Montgomery, how you doing, mate?
Absolutely pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So, obviously, fantastic film. Just had a profound interview with your co-host, co-actress. What did you get, or what did you do to get yourself prepared for this specific role?
I took a year off and worked with the director every week for the entire year on my core character, Jack. And then we met in Christchurch 2 weeks before we started shooting and worked on Elizabeth together, the second character that we both played together. And honestly, haven't thought about anything since. This is me putting it to bed tonight, and get closure with it. It's been profoundly impactful on my life, and I basically just haven't done anything for the last 2 years because I've just been focusing on this. So it's kind of preparation, but also healing, because I think a lot of what I've gone through in my life is similar to what happens in the movie, which I think has been very cathartic for me.
And as this beautiful movie, what would you share with maybe the audience members, maybe one specific spot that you portrayed in the movie that you're most excited about to share with the audience?
That's a really good question. Is it lame if I say all of it? I don't know.
No, it's not lame. No.
Yeah,
no.
I think it's just because it breathes in one beat together. I think I'm excited to share with the audience and terribly nervous. It's real. Like, we didn't talk to each other the whole shoot. Like, it was what it was. And it's kind of peeling back the mask and showing who you really are is really scary. And I'm excited, but also incredibly nervous to share that with the audience. I've never played an Australian character as well, so it's also even more close to me and who I am.